All right. Hey, Joe fans. This is JoeFan82 with some action figure news. This is another of my infamous last-minute live streams. I didn't get the word out really before this. I did a tweet a few minutes ago just trying to let some people know. And tonight, Tuesday night, is usually when Hooded Cobra Commander 788 does his weekly live stream. So I don't know if he's started yet. He said he was going to be a little late tonight, so be sure you check that out. Maybe after, if you're watching me, after you're done, go watch his. So hey Gaz, hey, you made it. All right, looks like at least a few people will show up. So tonight I'm gonna go over the newest figure reveals we got. Hey Matt, thanks for tuning in. The newest figure reveals we got from the Collectors Club. These are for two of the figures that are going to be in the final 12, which are going to be up for pre-order this month, November. All right, so the first figure that we have is Tiger Force Hit and Run. And where is, hold on one second, guys. Tiger Force Hit and Run, and on the club website it says this G.I. Joe team member was chosen to be part of the Tiger Force Special Operations Unit because of his unique specialties and ability to rappel down a line into remote locations to pinpoint hidden Cobra bases. Each single-carded action figure features the highly articulated modern-era sculpts with weapons and accessories for them to accomplish any mission. Tiger Force set available for pre-order this November. So I think last time I said I wasn't sure how they were doing the packaging, so I guess I just missed it. So each figure is going to be single-carded, and I guess with new artwork, which would be great, new card art. And it's going to be very, tempting if you're an on-card collector to not open it, obviously, or if you're an opener, to keep it on card, because either way, So this is Tiger Force Hit and Run, and he's basically a repaint of Hit and Run that we've seen before. Sorry, guys. Gaz says he reminds me of Law. Yeah, he's got the blue, got a little baby blue there. If you saw him, I did a review for the Wolf Squad version of Hit and Run, where he's all gray, and the same thing holds true with this figure. If you notice his helmet is a little big, and the goggles that are on his helmet are way too big. They would never fit over his face, and the goggles are removable, so they basically will just fall off his helmet. So I wasn't a big fan of that part of the figure. Now, I'm a huge fan of Tiger Force, so I'm partial to anything Tiger Force. So I'm kind of half and half on this figure. Part of me really likes from the neck down, and the other part is like, eh. So it's interesting. This is not a fully, you wouldn't look at this figure right away and realize that he's Tiger Force, because it's he's got the straps which have, they're orange and they got some black, but he's not full on Tiger Force, if you know what I mean. And this guy is based on the UK exclusive figure that came out. Here we go. This guy. I apologize if the image is a little blurry. I got this from Yojo.com, and Yojo is going through and updating their images, but I guess they just haven't gotten to the European stuff yet. So yeah, so they matched it up really well with the vintage figure, in my opinion. The colors look very similar, and that vintage guy was released in He was an exclusive figure that was available carded in Europe in 1991. He was one of 6 European exclusive Tiger Force figures. So the club is continuing their run of issuing those European exclusive Tiger Force figures. I have sneak peek. I really want that Outback, the one with the white hair. So yeah, that's that guy. And let's take a look at the other figure that was released. And so these were all revealed at JoeCon, the final 12. But that was a while ago, and haven't really looked at it since, so I've kind of forgotten which figures are in the final 12. So it's a little bit of a surprise when I see the club release the images to see what they're going to be. Oh, hey, Big Easy. Big Easy 77 says they should have put tiger stripes on the fatigues. Yeah, but the vintage figure didn't have tiger stripes on the fatigues, so that's what they're doing. They're not doing modern updates of those figures. They're doing a replication of the vintage figures in the modern sculpt. So they're not doing Pursuit of Cobra. They're doing 25th anniversary, if you get my meaning. But I think that could have looked cool. So let's look at the other figure that was released. This is Tiger Force Blizzard, and he is yellow, and I know there's going to be a good amount of people that do not like this figure because he's yellow, and they would prefer all military figures to be green, all Arctic figures to be white, all Cobra to be black or dark blue. I'm not one of those people. I like a little color in my, not that I'm against those traditional looks, but I like a little color in my figures. So I'm liking this guy. The Tiger Force element is really small. He's just got that little square in the middle. Other than that, you wouldn't automatically look at him and tell that he's Tiger Force. But he's also based on a vintage figure. He's based on this guy, and the vintage figure actually has more of a Tiger Force element than the new one does, which is interesting. So yeah, so this is the vintage guy. I think he came with a removable helmet. However, the new one does not have a removable helmet. That helmet is sculpted on, and I believe that's the same head we got for Scoop, FSS Scoop. And hey, Kylo Ren fan, yes, these are Collectors Club exclusive figures. They're only available through the club. If you're a member of the club, you have until I think the end of December to join, but pre-orders for these go up this month, and then that's it. The club is ending in December, and I think they're shipping these out first quarter next year. That's my guess. They haven't said, but that's what I think. Sir Grunt 99 says, I like the old hit and run. Corvus Force Walker says, the gun and pack would be worth the buy alone. Yeah, he's got some great accessories there. That looks like, his backpack looks like Snow Job's backpack. It looks like he comes with mostly Snow Job stuff. It's hard to tell from these images exactly what it all is, but that looks like Snow Job's, most of Snow Job's equipment. But I really like, the look of him, of this figure. He's the coat and everything. I don't know what that's from, the coat, the torso, and this part, but it looks great to me. So yeah, 2 more Tiger Force figures. I love Tiger Force, so I will be definitely looking for these on the pre-order whenever that goes up. I'm expecting any day the club to say when they're going to start that. So it looks like some of you guys agree with me. Big Easy. Indeed, that pack is awesome. Yeah, so I think these 2 will be, I think the club is selling these in 2 packs, so you buy them together. So Blizzard and Hit and Run will be packaged together. You buy 2 at a time. The previous 2, and so on. Hey, Kylo Ren fan says, thanks for the info, dude. Has there been any more news about John Cena being Joe Colton in Bumblebee, or do you think that was just a rumor? I have not heard any more news about that. I have a feeling that was just a rumor. But since you bring up movie news, that was the last bit of news I was going to cover tonight. There was a bit of info that came out through histank.com. If you're familiar with that website, you probably are if you're watching this right now. And I'm just going to go ahead and read the little release that came through, and I'll bring it up here so you guys can read it too. And here's what it says. We have received a word from Paramount's side that G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, which apparently is the official title for the upcoming movie, has been moved from pre-production stage to production. Furthermore, the title has been revised from just Snake Eyes to G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. That's what I just said. This move may have been done in order to avoid confusion with the famous 1998 Nicolas Cage movie of the same name, also produced by Paramount Pictures. I actually saw that Snake Eyes movie in the theater. Speaking of which, Hasbro's own AllSpark Pictures division will be co-producing the movie alongside Paramount. And it says there's an update. No director or cast member listed yet, but we hope to hear more info in an official capacity very soon. Additional crew recruitment is currently in motion. If you are working in the entertainment industry, you may receive job openings on your subscribed channels. To work for the movie, we received no word regarding extras. Also, it is interesting to note that G.I. Joe Snake Eyes carries the description G.I. Joe Reboot Movie from a story by Evan Spilotopoulos. I apologize for butchering the name. The movie is slated to release on March 27th, 2020. And the last bit at the end says Dungeons & Dragons movie will also be produced simultaneous to the new G.I. Joe movie for a 2021 release date. Not sure why that was in there, but there it is. So that was the news that came out yesterday. And it's quite interesting because most people, I think, were in the camp of not believing the Snake Eyes movie was going to happen. I, for one, am still, even after this, it's still, to me, it's still a little up in the air because the Bumblebee movie hasn't come out yet, and I think how that movie does might affect this movie. Also, there's been no casting yet for the Snake Eyes movie, and there was talk of director a while ago, a couple months ago, but nothing since then. Let me check the chat real quick here. Hey, Edward Medina, thanks for coming in. Sorry if I'm missing what you guys are saying. Corvus Forest Walker, using G.I. Joe in front opens the option for different Joe solo movies. Yeah, you're right. I think what they're doing is they're going back to the Marvel philosophy, starting with focusing on a single character and then branching out from there. And obviously G.I. Joe has a lot of characters, so you can, it'd be nice to see, one day there's a G.I. Joe Special Missions movie with just all these second and third tier characters that you would never, Hit and Run, Blizzard, Tunnel Rat, Blizzard new look also almost reminds me of a wilderness medicine. That you mentioned that. I was gonna mention that. Do I have him out here? Where is he? I have him somewhere. The new Blizzard reminds me of the doc that came out, Pursuit of Cobra. It was a Toys R Us exclusive. I know I've got him here somewhere. Of course, when I'm on him, I don't see him. Oh, he's around here somewhere, but he's got very bright colors too, like a bright orange, and it's got a bright orange coat and yellow pants and blue accents. So those two might. Edward Medina, yes, a Snake Eyes movie. How exactly they're going to do it, I don't know. I have a feeling what they're going to do is get a recognizable name to be in the movie, not Nicolas Cage, a younger actor, and we're going to see his face, and we're going to see him, what happens when he turns into Snake Eyes, before, during, and then at the end of the movie, he'll be in G.I. Joe with the full uniform, and he can't speak and all that. That's what I think. Is that what I would like to see? No. But that's what I think they're hoping will draw in a new audience that is not familiar with these characters, and they might be right. Kylo Ren fan says, that's great news. I wonder if Ray Park will be Snake Eyes again. I'm guessing if it's a reboot, there will be new actors. Ray Park, I believe the What's on Joe Mind podcast said this, that Ray Park said he has not heard anything from anybody about the movie. He has not been contacted. So I'm pretty sure Ray Park will not be playing Snake Eyes. And remember, Ray Park was Snake Eyes when he couldn't speak and he was in full costume during the whole movie. Ray Park is not known for being a great actor. He's a great stuntman, great physical presence on screen. But name one movie that he had a leading role in, you know, as far as acting. So I think they're going to be looking for that first, and then the physical stuff after. So I think they're going to be recasting everybody. I don't think any of the previous actors are going to be in this. It said this is a reboot, so I think they're totally cutting ties with the previous continuity that we saw in Rise of Cobra and Retaliation. Kylo Ren fans, I wonder if it will be a Snake Eyes origin movie. Yes, that's what it's going to be. Or show all the Joes. No, we won't. All the Joes? We won't see all the Joes. A director was discussed a while ago, DJ Caruso, but nothing has been said recently. So I'm not sure if he's still the director or if he's attached or what. You know, Hollywood stuff, this stuff, you know, comes and goes very quickly. And unless something is signed in blood, it's not going to happen. Now, even if they did have a director signed, even if they had a director and actors, and Bumblebee bombed, they might decide, we're not going to risk it. That's a possibility. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's a possibility. So until I see more casting news and maybe behind-the-scenes photos of production, I'm still taking all this with a grain of salt, you know? Edward Medina, do you like Star Wars or collect Star Wars 3 3/4-inch figures? I do like Star Wars. At one point, I had a good amount of the Power of the Force line that started in the 90s. Ended up selling most of those because I needed the money. But yeah, I do like Star Wars. I don't think I have any Star Wars figures currently. It's a little sad, but yeah, I don't think I have any right now. Benny Orozco says, hopefully someone taller. Yeah, Ray Park's a little on the short side. He he was probably a good height for Wolverine. He was Toad in that first X-Men movie, and Toad was probably the right height for Wolverine. Corvus, Roadblock equals Terry Crews, or else. I agree with you. However, I think Terry Crews looks the part. However, I think he's too old to play Roadblock now. That's just my opinion. 10 years ago, yeah, I think now he's a little bit too old. Edward, sorry with the questions. That's okay. But do you read the new IDW G.I. Joe Silent option number 1? Did you read it? Me, I still haven't. I just read it, and I'm hoping that I can get a review done for it, actually. And I think that's going to be a Patreon exclusive video. So if you don't know, I have a Patreon account, and for as little as $1, you can get my review videos one day early and some other stuff. And I'm going to try to do some Patreon exclusive things, so you will only be able to see it there, at least for a while, and then eventually, at some point down the road, I'll probably release it on the channel. So, yeah, I have read it, and short review, I liked it. Kylo Ren fan says, my friend always said he wanted Christopher Nolan to direct G.I. Joe because of the way he filmed the SWAT team and bank robbery scenes in the Dark Knight Batman movies. I've never thought of that, but that's a good point. I was a big fan of the first 2 movies in that series, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Those are really well done. Yeah, I agree. I think Christopher Nolan might be a good choice. Yeah, so that could be an interesting idea. Definitely not Tim Burton, though. I don't think Tim Burton, you mentioned Batman directors. Tim Burton directed Batman and Batman Returns. I don't think Tim Burton would do a good job with G.I. Joe. Big Easy 77 says, other than Mezco, any manufacturer picking up G.I. Joe so we can continue collecting? Not that I know of right now. It's as far as I know, the club has these 12 figures they're going to be releasing, and then possibly Mezco doing something, which is, not a retail level. That's a 2 or 3 steps above that. So yeah, not that I know of. Edward Medina says, if you eventually get into Star Wars 1/18 scale, go with the recent Hasbro Star Wars: The Vintage Collection. All right, thanks. Yeah, if I do, I've noticed that Hasbro has been, or from what I've heard, Star Wars has kind of taken a similar route as some of the Marvel figures, where reduced articulation and the quality's gone a little bit down. So yeah, I haven't been interested enough to pick those up yet. Benny says, I'm hoping for a Mask movie update. I think that was in the works at one point, and now it's been put on hold or on hiatus, or I think it's not moving forward right now from my understanding. Edward, Bumblebee movie hype. Yeah, I'm planning on seeing Bumblebee in the theaters. I'm hoping there is going to be some type of G.I. Joe reference or reference to the other Hasbro properties, that there's possibly going to be some more movies branching out from there. So we'll see. I think it would be silly of them not to do that now. Kylo Ren fan says, have you bought any more of those 3 3/4 inch animal people figures, like the ones we used to talk about that looked like Stinkor? I can't remember the name of the series. Yeah, those are Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. And I did a review I did a review of Pale and Kali, the two main characters from that, and I haven't gotten around to doing a video on the other ones. So this one is the one you're referring to that looks like Stinkor from Masters of the Universe, but this guy's name is Toxius, and he is a skunk. And he's got some nice orange armor, and I don't know if you can tell, but he does have the white stripes that run down his back. So he's a pretty cool figure. And this one's another pretty cool one. His name escapes me at the moment, but he is very reminiscent of Tigra from Thundercats, and he's another cool figure. So yeah, I'm hopefully gonna get around to reviewing these. These were part of a Kickstarter and from Spiro Studios, and they just did another Kickstarter a little while ago for some deluxe figures, some larger figures, gorillas, and some other animals. And yeah, so those will be coming out eventually. So let me just check the chat one more time here. Yeah, so those are pretty cool. If you haven't checked out my review for Pale and Kali, go look it up on my channel, and you can see more of those. So I think right now Hooded Cobra Commander 788 is doing a live stream. Let me check and see if he's on. He is. HCC 788 is live. So I'm going to sign off now and encourage you guys to go check out Hooded Cobra Commander 788. He's doing a live stream. I don't know what's going on, but he's got a little bit of a crazy thumbnail going on. So you might want to head over there, see what he's doing. So that was just some quick action figure news and a movie update. I appreciate you guys tuning in. One last thing from Kylo Ren fan. Let me read. Warner Brothers and Disney are going to have live stream services where you have to pay to shows. I wonder if Hasbro will have a streaming service of G.I. Joe and Transformers shows. Hasbro did have an app called Hasbro Studio or Hasbro Studios, and they had all of G.I. Joe, all of Transformers, a bunch of their other animated series, and I was using that to catch up on Transformers because I had never seen all of the original animated Transformers, and then one day the app stopped working and it hasn't worked for me since. So I don't know what's going on with that, if they've given up on doing that or what, but you're right. To me, that's a no-brainer. Just make an app that's free, put all your old shows, put like an ad in front of them like on YouTube, and there you go. So I don't know why they're not doing that. It's a mystery to me. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me for tonight. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.